It never fails. I keep finding good food inside gas stations. And I'm not complaining. This time it's Taiwanese food. This spot inside an Exxon station in Rockville, Maryland has a mom and pop feel to it and looks quite traditional. And they've got a big menu with lots of choices. Come along, let's see what's cooking on today's episode. So tucked inside this gas station here in Rockville, Maryland, is a Taiwanese food counter. It takes up at least half of the station inside. Let me get started. They have a really large menu that is potentially intimidating if you're not really familiar with Taiwanese food or Chinese food. I had a vague idea of what I wanted, and I know I wanted this first item, which is stinky tofu. It is one of my favorite Taiwanese items. It is fermented tofu. An aroma starts to emanate from it that is generally regarded as being stinky, and you can ferment it for different periods of time, a matter of days, a week, or weeks, or even months, or even years. I don't know how long this stinky tofu has been fermenting, and then it's soft, and then you fry it up and it's crispy. And I guess let me poke a piece and begin. Wow, that kind of caught me off guard. It's really light and airy. I thought it would be more dense. Here's another one. Wow. It tastes like there's air bubbles in the tofu itself. Let me poke this piece and dip it in the sauce and see how that is. This sauce is kind of brownish and a slight kind of reddish hue to it. I don't know what kind of sauce this is. Oh, let me get some more of that sauce. I don't know what it is. I'm poking and dipping another piece. Okay. Wow. There's a slight sweet tinge to it, but it's more savory. It's like some sort of, like a teriyaki sauce or something like that. I'm not familiar with that flavor, really. Let me try some of these pickles. Ooh, it looks like big slabs of cabbage, pickled cabbage. Oh. Wow. It's sour and sweet. Wow. As you can imagine, it kind of cleanses your palate, gets that fried, crispy flavor out of your mouth. Okay, beyond the airiness of the tofu, as I mentioned, I don't taste a whole lot of funk or stinkiness. I mean, that generally is the case. It smells stinky and people object to it on those grounds, but it usually doesn't carry any stinky flavor, and this one doesn't. It tastes very clean. And in fact, if I handed it to you and I didn't say what it was, you would just assume it was just normal fried tofu, because there is not a whole lot of stink coming off of it. I mean, there was a whiff of it as I opened the box, and as I examined it initially when it was fresh out of the fryer and before I sat down. But right now, it just tastes like crispy, airy tofu. There's not a whole lot of, stinky essence about it. It's just, fried tofu, basically. Okay, this next dish is the fried chicken chop. These huge slabs of fried chicken, boneless fried chicken, is popular in Taiwan. I know that. I've seen it at different Taiwanese eateries. And, it's a huge slab of fried boneless chicken. And let me, I cut it down the middle. There was a perforation, kind of a valley in between this section of chicken breast meat. Let me refine the cut. Here it is. Yeah. Oh man, it's a huge little slab of chicken. Oh man. Now I said a huge little slab of chicken. I should have just said slab of big chicken, because that is what it is. It has that kind of savory, slightly spicy, slightly peppery finish on the outside. Wow. This piece that I'm just picking up, you can see very clearly that distinctive Taiwanese exterior. It's sandpapery and kind of pebbly, and that's the classic Taiwanese finish on fried chicken. The chicken is moist and tender. It's not thigh meat, so it could dry out. It's savory. It's not overly salty. It has a touch of like pepperiness, spiciness, but it's controlled and not overdone. One thing I'm wondering about and curious about is this typically dipped in some sort of sauce? Because I didn't get any sauce with this huge slab of entire breast meat. I think it would benefit from some sort of lubrication, some sort of dipping sauce, something that's sweet, something that's slightly sour. I don't know. It seems kind of odd that there's no sauce that goes with it. Okay, my next dish is lu rou fan, or braised pork rice, and I think this dish is in contention for being the national dish of Taiwan, if it really isn't already outright. I mean, so there's rice in here, obviously, and stewed pork, and some pickled greens, and a big egg. Let me have the first bite. I guess it should be pork and rice. Wow. Well, let me get another one. Wow. That is good. Yeah, let me dig around and get some more. This pork and rice is good. As I'm looking at it, as I'm digging around, as I'm scooping it up, you can see the fat in the pork. It's not just plain pork. There's some fattiness to it. Oh man. Wow. That is good. The fattiness of the pork really adds a whole other dimension to it, because if it was just lean pork, it would obviously be not as good, because that fatty component really adds a depth of flavor. There's some 5-spice, some star anise, I don't know what else, and that braising sauce, it's in the background in a strong supporting role. Let me put it that way. This is good. Let me try some of these pickles. Green pickles. Wow. Wow. And these kind of yellowish green pickles. Oh man. Wow. I don't know what those two things are, but both of them are sour and very complimentary. Again, it cleanses your palate. It kind of offsets some of the fattiness with the sourness. I'm thinking turnips, maybe daikon for the yellowish one. Maybe the green one is, what is the green one? I don't know. Okay, let me try this stewed egg. I got a plastic knife that I used earlier on the chicken chop. Let me press against this egg and cut it in 2 pieces. And let me scoop it up. Okay, oh, here it is. You can see the yolk very prominently. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That is very yolky. It has a very strong yolky flavor. And it's kind of pasty. And it kind of sticks to the roof of your mouth like if you were eating peanut butter. I mean, but it has a nice, really rich soy flavor. Wow. You have to taste it with the pork, really. And the rice. Wow. A really satisfying succession of spoonfuls, mouthfuls of flavors. Wow, that's really good with one following the other like that. Okay, the next dish is beef noodle soup, and I think this dish also might be in contention for being the national dish of Taiwan. And it is not assembled yet. It comes in two separate containers: broth and the beef in one container, and the noodles and accoutrements in another. And I'm getting the broth. Oh, here it is. It looks really spicy and red. I poured the broth out, but the beef is kind of lingering at the bottom. And let me chopstick my way into the beef and to place it into the bowl. Wow, it's pretty generous with the beef. It looks like beef shank. There's tendon in here too. There are lumps of tendon. Let me get a fair amount of beef on my noodles and to begin that way. This broth looks the part. Wow, it has a very deep colorful hue. It's kind of orangey and red and brown all at the same time. Let me try the broth. Let me try that first. Wow. Wow. Wow, I'm getting repeated scoopfuls. Wow. There's a beefiness to the broth. I can taste the beef in the broth, and it's not as spicy as it looks. There's definitely something making it spicy, but it's a gentle, very mild kind of spiciness, despite its bold appearance. And it's good. Wow. The beef is resting on top, and the noodles are submerged. And let me just try the beef first, since it's right there on the top. Oh my! Wow! Oh my! Oh my! That is some of the best beef shank I've ever tried. Wow. It is so lush, so moist and tender, that beef shank. And there's that marbleization in the beef shank, that marbleization inside the interior of the beef shank has been rendered down, and it's also very soft. Okay, there's one lump of tendon in here. There's some meat and marbleization to it, but it's just looking like a lump of tendon is what it is. So I'm just going to say it's a tendon piece. Wow. Oh, look. Oh my God. Oh my. Gelatinous tendony piece. Wow. Again, it's been braised so adeptly that tendon has been softened and made lush. And wow, the texture on that tendon is just wonderful. Wow. Okay, let me figure out what's going on underneath the broth and the beef. Oh, there's some noodles, obviously. This is beef noodle soup. Oh, it looks like some sort of flat rice noodles. And, oh, there's a generous portion. It looks like it's fairly thin. It's not very thick, the noodles. And, oh, they're slippery. And they're hard to get with the chopsticks, really. Yeah, they kind of slip off the chopsticks as I'm trying to fetch them. Ooh, they're fighting against the chopsticks. Yeah, they're flat and they're really slippery. Oh, here's the best I can do. Wow. Wow. Now, I don't know what type of noodle typically comes with beef noodle soup, the Taiwanese version of beef noodle soup. So is this typical of this dish? I don't know, but ooh. Wow, the noodles are very soft. I mean, they haven't been soaking in the broth that long because I just poured the broth in, but are they overly soft? I wouldn't say that, but they're at that threshold and they break apart very easily. Oh, and there's some I was gonna say Napa cabbage, but looks like some Shanghai bok choy pieces in here. Okay, that wraps up this episode from the Exxon station here in Rockville, Maryland. Thank you for joining me today and continuing on to the end of this video. If you have a comment about anything, please leave it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I'll catch you on my next food adventure. Take care for now. Bye-bye.